Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 60 of Stronghold SHX, the road to $3.33 with myself, CryptoBanker SHX. It is October the 10th. Before we dive in, just an important prerequisite, as always, that I am not a financial advisor, and nothing I ever say or do should be taken as financial advice. I also do not endorse SHX at any price point. Now, thank you for all the messages from you guys in relation to myself. I have been away, as you can tell, and it has been due to my health. So I know that I posted a few days ago that I would have been back tomorrow to do episode 60, and that didn't happen. And I didn't want to keep reposting when I felt well enough, because there was a couple of times when I felt okay, like I can produce now, and then I tried and I just couldn't do it. And I digressed. I thought I'll just wait until I can post, and then you'll know that I'm back because you'll be watching the video, right? But one important point I want to make is that when I do have time off, which is always it's always due to health, right? I have a batch of impersonators who are scammers. And what happens is when I'm not around, their activity will increase because I'm not around, right? To block them, or if I'm not actively posting, it gives them a window of opportunity potentially. And it's very frustrating because I go in there every single week and I search for these accounts to block them before they can start to reshare my things, because what they do is they block me first and then I can't find them. So I need you guys to help me. And so if you do see these accounts, please do report them. It's obvious to most people. They can't spell my name correctly, and they've done this so many times that now they're running out of like abbreviations. Or variation, should I say. So just be wary of that, guys. In relation to SHX, I see a lot of people are frustrated and a little bit annoyed at the price. And what I'll say to that is, like, yeah, we're trading at 1.4 cent. Like, wow. To me, that's an opportunity. But to others, they might have been stacking at 2 cent, and now they're down by what, 25% or something. And it's weird because like that's what crypto is like. Like when the price is going up, you don't hear anything. Everyone's a genius. Wow, what a genius I am. The price is going up. I bought before it went up. Wow. And then when it goes down or they doesn't do what they're expecting, they look to blame someone else. They take all the credit for the good stuff, but then when it's not performing in the way that they want to, suddenly it's someone else's fault. And that's just life, isn't it? That's what people are like. But like I say, if you're looking at SHX as a one, just below a 1.5 cent asset, then I would say to you, you don't know what you're talking about in the nicest possible way. Like, you don't understand this. If you're panicking and you're looking at the rest of the market, again, like, you don't really know what you're doing. Because I thought it could be a possibility that people start to get annoyed, start to get shaken out, because when you're in this stage of a bull run, things randomly pop off and people will then jump ship and FOMO into other things, right? And maybe that's what's happened with SHX. Maybe we've just seen a little bit of selling because people bought before the exchanges and everything like that, and we've had a couple, but nothing has really happened. And so, like I say, people get frustrated and they leave, which just happens. But like, I wouldn't, like, personally, I wouldn't be worried. All this requires is patience. They always say, like, if in doubt, zoom out. Like, zoom out to 2030, like zoom out to 5 years time, when all of this is scaled in terms of blockchain adoption and utility, and then maybe have an opinion. But like, I just think that like the time that we're in now, it could be at any point. It only takes one or two. It really does. It only takes one or two, and the whole world looks different. Here from Mind Crypto, he has been tracking, as always, the on-chain data for SHX, and they are sending more ether to Kraken. They've sent 37K. It's totaling $600,000 so far in the last 2 months. And people have started to speculate then, are they selling? Are they preparing? What are they doing? I think it's pretty obvious that they're preparing. I don't think they're selling. Like, why would they do that? They just continue to do that through the ether chain. There's no reason for them to send these amounts to exchanges unless they were preparing to list. Because, like I say, if they were taking money out of it, then they would just continue to do that in the way that they have. SHX liquidity pools keep growing, and there's another 10% increase in the last 10 days to 138 million SHX. What this does is it enhances trading efficiency, merchant financing, and DeFi interoperability across Stellar and Ethereum networks, with partnerships driving adoption. SHX ecosystem is expanding fast. It is expanding fast. This is why, like I say, like, if people are really concentrating on the short-term price, and I get it because of the on-chain data, and it became like a really hot topic and all of these pending exchanges. But then, like I say, people go away and they forget, right? And then they look at it and they go, oh, it's dropped 50% or over 50% in the last month or whatever. But you're not going to get life-changing gains like from just buying something and then selling it 2 weeks later, unless it's like a meme coin or something, which obviously the volatility is insanely high. And like I always say, they're purely gambling, right? So you can win, you can lose. But with SHX, like, it's part of the new financial system. It's an integral part. So really, the timeline that you should be on is the new financial systems, not some 5-minute chart or listening to someone on X. Because the way in which you're going to get the full appreciation potentially of this asset in value is by waiting, right? But like I say, if people are free to do what they want, we're all adults. You all make your own decisions. So people will sell SHX, and that's just how it is. Like, people jump in as fast as people jump in, they'll jump out, right? Here from HFL chart guy on the 4 hours. Now this is interesting, just concentrating, like I say, on the short term, seeing what happens. But really, this is what you should be focused on. If you're focused on short term, you should be focused on what price is it going to drop to so you can accumulate more. You should be focused on like the price and then being like, well, that's it forever. Yeah. Otherwise, you'll probably drive yourself slightly insane. But don't get me wrong, there's going to be a big bang moment at some point for SHX and a couple of these other assets as well, because it's such a low market cap compared to everything else. So there has to be that journey into the billions of market cap, and usually that journey then is never really replicated down too much. You know, what's the lowest market cap that XRP went to? I think it was around 6. Was it 6 billion, something like that? I think, when the COVID crash happened in 2020. But like, these things aren't designed for now. They're designed for 2030, 2035, 2040, 2050. At the moment, what we are in is pure speculation. And therefore, people need to understand that, like, the volatility is insane on these things. Like, SHX could very well go on a huge run, right? And could hit some astronomical values. But at the same time, it also could go up a little bit and then crash back down. Because the other elements that people need to be aware of are what's happening in other markets. And we're now approaching the point in which there potentially will be a huge event globally. Now, people have talked about this. I've talked about it. But now it's probably the time to really take it seriously. There's been a couple of things that I've been privy to as I've been off, and it's really it's coming into like a very tricky time, because there are catalysts for both scenarios, and really looking at not SHX exclusively, but other things, other markets, and just money, right, in general, and how it's behaving, and the death of the dollar, and everything like that. And I think that there are going to be some very exciting and also very challenging times ahead, because at some point between now and the end of Q2 next year, there will be, in my own personal opinion, not financial advice, but there's going to be a event which will kind of like really put previous market corrections, crashes, whatever you want to call it, kind of overshadow them. Now, it's one of those situations in which in investing you're never going to time the top, but also you don't want to be holding the bag when it is the top. And there's also the other side of it, in which if you are too risk off and start to take profits too early, then you might FOMO back in, because there are catalysts for this to really not just like end in the next 2 months, but carry on right into next year. It's like extremely precarious, but where there is obviously that uncertainty, there's opportunity, right? So the reason I'm saying this is that, like, I think people need to make up their mind. Are you holding SHX just to try and see if it goes to $3.33 quickly because I'm making videos, which you shouldn't be doing? Or are you in it for longer term? Are you in it for the DeFi? Are you in it for the tech? Not really for the tech. You're here to make money, right? So are you here to do you see it as a long-term investment? Do you think that SHX would be more than 1.4 cent by 2030, 2035, 2040, 2050? I know everyone's trying to get rich overnight, like quickly, but like realistically, where do you see this being positioned? I think that when you understand your plan and what you're doing, then you won't get affected emotionally by this short-term price action. And I get it. Like, I used to have a lot of SHX, there's certain people who watch my videos and follow me and they even speak to me who have astronomical amounts, and I get it because a cent can be a lot of money, right? In value of your portfolio as it goes up or down. But really, I suppose, make that kind of choice if you are struggling with the price and or short-term price action. Really make the choice and of the plan, right? And you will feel a lot better because you have decided what's going to happen. And SHX is designed for DeFi. Like it's designed to be the liquidity tool of StrongholdNet. Look at all the clients of StrongholdNet, millions of merchants, banks, governments, financial powerhouses. I just like all of these things you see before you, all of the clues, all of the little nods, all of the signals, everything I've shared over the years, like, it's all there. It's just a case of waiting, right? And the journey, if you've been into SHX and Stronghold before, like say pre-September last year, then you'll know that like all of the things that have started to come out November onwards have been astronomical compared to anything that we've seen before. And so SHX is getting there. It will get there. It's literally a case of like anything within investing. I think it's just a case of being patient, right? But by 2030, it depends how patient you are, right? Or how much patience you have. But by 2030, I'm fairly confident, unless something unforeseen happens, the SHX will be above 1.4%, right? And I understand and I appreciate that people want to make money and they want to make it fast. But if you ever look at the stats on trying to time the top and sell and then buy back in or trade or whatever, like, they're always stacked towards the hodler. The people that hodl in this environment make the most money or most profit. Same thing, really. No, it's not. It's not the same thing at all. The profit is the number you should be very, very much concentrating on. But like I say, like, it's the ACH network's upgrade. It's staring you in the face. It's interesting because, like, if Stronghold was like above $1, people will probably buy it more than it being below 2 cents or 1.5 cents. That's just human psychology. But what you're looking at and what you're witnessing with SHX is the new financial system, an integral part of it. So it just really boils down to if you can wait for that to be implemented or not. And that's the end of episode 60. Please do join us on Strongholders X community. On X, please do join. There's over 3,000 of us there. Please do be aware of impersonators and trolls out there as well. I will be back on tomorrow. I'll be back for another episode. And then I will be back on Monday as well. But I hope wherever you are in the world, you have a fantastic rest of day. I hope that your Friday goes well into the weekend, and I will see you tomorrow for the next one.